70% of gardeners lose their zucchini plants to powdery mildew before the end of the growing season. Most don't realize they could have saved their plants with items they already had at home. Like Maria from Portland, who rescued her entire crop with a simple kitchen ingredient last summer. Her neighbor's gardens withered while hers thrived through harvest. Today I'm comparing the 6 most effective organic solutions for powdery mildew, from baking soda mixes to milk sprays and neem oil. You'll discover which treatments actually work and which popular remedies fall short. These are proven tested methods that bring you results you can trust. That harmless-looking white dust on your zucchini leaves isn't harmless at all. What starts as a few innocent spots can destroy your entire garden in just days if you don't catch it early. Powdery mildew begins as small white spots on the upper sides of leaves. Many gardeners mistake these spots for dust or watermarks until it's too late. You might notice leaves yellowing slightly or edges starting to curl before the white powder appears. These early warning signs are your first line of defense against a full-blown invasion. Unlike most plant diseases that need wet conditions, this fungus thrives in dry environments. It prefers temperatures between 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, making it a common summer garden invader. The fungus spreads through invisible spores that travel on wind currents, hitch rides on insects, or transfer from your gardening tools as you move between plants. If you spot even one white spot, act fast. Isolate that plant immediately to stop airborne spores from reaching your other plants. Unsure if it's powdery mildew? Try this simple test. Wipe the white substance with a damp cloth. If it comes off easily without damaging the leaf underneath, you're dealing with powdery mildew. The fungus sends tiny structures called haustoria into your plant's cells to steal nutrients. These fungal feeding tubes weaken your plants from the inside out, reducing fruit production. Quick action with the right organic treatments can save your plants and harvest. Waiting even 48 hours can determine whether plants recover. Timing truly matters. Those white patches on your zucchini leaves have nothing to do with sunburn, water spots, or mineral deposits like many gardeners think. What you're dealing with is a specific fungus called Eryciphe psychoracearum. This isn't the same fungus that attacks your other garden plants, it specifically targets plants in the squash family. Your garden layout might actually be helping this disease spread. When zucchini plants sit too close together, you create humid pockets where fungal spores thrive. I visited a community garden last summer where one grower had planted zucchini just 12 inches apart. By mid-July, powdery mildew had spread through the entire plot. Watering your plants in the evening creates damp conditions overnight, giving the fungus hours of ideal growing time while you sleep. Morning watering allows leaves to dry before evening, cutting off the fungus's opportunity to establish. The white powder on your leaves reveals a fungus forming tiny thread networks that penetrate leaf cells with specialized structures. These essentially function as microscopic straws, extracting nutrients directly from your plant. Your soil might be harboring the problem. Fungal spores can survive winter in old plant debris, ready to reinfect spring plants. This makes fall garden cleanup essential. Inconsistent watering stresses plants, making them more vulnerable to infection. Zucchini naturally have weaker defenses against this specific fungus, and drought stress worsens this vulnerability. By addressing these root causes, you'll have a much better chance of keeping powdery mildew away from your squash plants completely. The secret to keeping powdery mildew away from your plants isn't something you'll find in a spray bottle. It starts months before you ever see those white spots. Planning ahead makes all the difference. Don't just toss them on the ground, bag them up and throw them away to prevent the spores from spreading, and never compost them because the spores can survive and infect your garden later. Choose resistant zucchini varieties like Anton or Dunya to reduce your risk dramatically. My neighbor Mark switched to Dunya last season and harvested his first mildew-free crop in 5 years. These resistant types give you a powerful head start. Plant spacing creates your first line of defense. Give your squash plants room to breathe, at least 3 to 4 feet apart. Think of it as each plant needing its own personal bubble of airflow. When leaves can dry quickly, fungal spores struggle to establish. Morning watering builds on this protection. Water early so leaves dry completely before evening, keeping humidity down when it matters most. Consistent watering prevents stress that weakens natural plant defenses. Strategic pruning reinforces your defense system. Remove ground-touching leaves and thin crowded sections, improving airflow like opening windows in a stuffy room. Adding a 2-inch organic mulch layer creates a barrier against soil-borne spores. This simple shield keeps lower leaves clean. Weekly preventative sprays with diluted milk, 1 part milk to 9 parts water, create an inhospitable surface for fungal growth. These prevention methods form an interconnected system, each reinforcing the others. Together they create a comprehensive shield that's far more effective than individual tactics alone. Prevention truly beats treatment every time. The internet is filled with powdery mildew treatments that do more harm than good. I've seen gardeners make these mistakes repeatedly, and they often end up with damaged plants or spreading the problem further. Mistake number 1 is giving up too soon. Effective treatment requires consistent application every 7 to 10 days until all signs of infection are gone. A single treatment won't solve the problem. Persistence is key. Mistake number 2 happens when you continue harvesting without washing your tools. Spores transfer easily from infected plants to healthy ones via pruners, gloves, and hands. Mistake number 3 is only spraying the visible white patches. Spores hide on all parts of the plant, especially leaf undersides. Treating just affected areas allows hidden spores to quickly reinfect clean spots. Leaving infected plant material in your garden creates mistake number 4. Those infected leaves become spore reservoirs that return next season, starting the cycle again. Mistake number 5 is applying treatments during hot, sunny days. Heat amplifies treatment effects, causing leaf burn. Plants become more susceptible to disease when struggling with both heat and chemical damage. Always apply treatments in early morning or evening. Mistake number 6 is using dish soap in homemade sprays without testing. Many dish soaps contain degreasers that strip protective leaf waxes, removing plants' natural defenses. Last mistake is mixing incompatible treatments. Never apply oil spray within 2 weeks of sulfur spray. This combination can severely damage or kill your plants. Not all organic sprays work the same way when fighting powdery mildew. Some prevent infection while others actively kill spores that are already on your plants. Milk spray is surprisingly effective against powdery mildew. Mix 1 part milk with 9 parts water and spray it on your plants weekly. The proteins in milk create an antiseptic effect when exposed to sunlight. Studies show this simple solution controls up to 90% of powdery mildew. For severe cases you can try a stronger 1:1 ratio. Baking soda solutions alter the pH on leaf surfaces, making it difficult for fungal spores to grow. Mix 1 tablespoon of baking soda per gallon of water with a half teaspoon of mild soap. Apply carefully. Too strong a mixture might burn your plant leaves. Neem oil fights powdery mildew while deterring squash pests like aphids and cucumber beetles. The active ingredients disrupt the fungus life cycle and prevent spore growth. Potassium bicarbonate sprays work faster than baking soda, actively killing existing powdery mildew. This contact fungicide reduces spore production by up to 80% when applied correctly. Sulfur-based fungicides provide the longest-lasting protection but must be applied before infection starts. Never use sulfur above 90 degrees Fahrenheit or within 2 weeks of an oil spray. For best results, rotate between different treatments. This prevents fungus from developing resistance. The most effective approach combines removal of infected leaves, a contact treatment like potassium bicarbonate, and a preventative spray like milk solution. When you see white powder covering your zucchini leaves, you might wonder if the fruits are still safe to eat. Good news, powdery mildew primarily affects the leaves and stems, not the actual zucchini fruit. This means most fruits are perfectly edible even when they come from infected plants. Your zucchini is still nutritious, even if it wears a little fungal frosting. If the white fungus reaches the fruit, simply wash it with a solution of 1 part vinegar to 9 parts water to remove visible signs and spores. Much like how our bodies produce less energy when we're fighting illness, infected plants struggle with photosynthesis. This plant stress directly impacts fruit quality. When powdery mildew damages leaves, the plant can't produce enough sugars, resulting in smaller fruits with a slightly bitter flavor. The bigger impact is on your overall harvest. Infected plants yield 20 to 50% fewer zucchinis because they divert energy to fighting the fungus rather than fruit production. These compromised fruits also don't store well. They soften faster and develop rot more quickly, so use them promptly rather than saving them. For best practices, harvest in the morning when humidity is low to prevent spreading spores. Wash your hands and tools thoroughly before touching healthy plants. And remember, never save seeds from infected plants. Fungal spores remain viable in seeds and will immediately infect next year's crop. With proper handling, you can still enjoy your harvest despite this common garden challenge. Powdery mildew isn't a death sentence for your squash plants. With the right approach, you can save your garden and still enjoy a full harvest. Prevention creates an environment where powdery mildew struggles to grow. Space your plants properly, select resistant varieties, and water in the morning. Simple kitchen solutions like milk sprays and baking soda are most effective when applied early or preventatively. Take action today with these organic treatments you already have at home. Your garden deserves this natural care, and you deserve the satisfaction of watching your zucchini thrive through harvest time, all while keeping your garden chemical-free and sustainable. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you love gardening and organic solutions, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments which spray are you planning to try first? Or do you have your own secret weapon against powdery mildew? Let's keep the conversation going. I'll see you in the next video, and happy gardening.